Hey guys, I know a few of you are going to be up this morning at this time while this video is going on, but I wanted to show you a few things in my neighborhood of how neighbors stick together during a hurricane or in the aftermath of a hurricane, in spite of the government not helping, not doing a thing. First of all, that's my sign right there. This area is full of crazy gun nuts. And then it says hashtag looters' lives don't matter. That's as you come into my neighborhood. As you see, that's the boulevard entering my neighborhood, and the first thing you see, in fact, let me show you. If you enter my neighborhood from the main street over here, look at that, I'll show you the boulevard area. Trees that used to be big giant trees, there's nothing left of them. But when you come into the neighborhood, this is the main street right here. That's what you're looking at right there. That's my house right there on the corner, straight ahead, and that's my sign right there. So you see my sign when you come into my neighborhood, but look at what this neighborhood has done. We cleared all the streets ourselves. We didn't wait for somebody. We took fence posts, everything, put them to the road. Of course, here's another sign. What he said. That's of course in reference to my sign. But I just want you to see this. We have cleaned up our own neighborhood here. Not only have we cleaned up our own neighborhood, we've sorted everything out. We've tarped our own roofs. These are tarps that the government and FEMA not only did not put, but we probably got refused to put. Here's another sign. Remember, my sign said this area is full of crazy gun nuts. What they said. This is something you don't do. Of course, you always have that one neighbor. This dude decided to drive by, clean out his fridge, and put all this rotten, nasty food to the street while everybody else is living here, and he took off and he's staying somewhere else. What an ass. But everybody else, if you look, for the most part, has cleaned everything up. Some have hauled things off. Again, done the actual work ourselves as far as cleanup, or we funded it ourselves as far as, like, here's one that hasn't quite tarped it yet. I think he's looking to tarp that today. Light post down. But yeah, we've done this work ourselves. The state government, local government, and federal government has not lifted a finger to help us. Of course, all that noise you hear, that's generators throughout this neighborhood of people just trying to get a little bit of power. So they have just a smidgen of comfort as they try to sleep, preserve what's in their refrigerators, have lights in the house, something like that. Like if you see full lights like this, that's someone that usually has a gas-powered generator. But nevertheless, everyone has done most of this work themselves. I mean, if you look right here, coming up on my right here, you're gonna see tree stumps right there. A massive tree that fell down. Right up here, there was a huge section of trees. Some people are already picking up the big trees for firewood, obviously, which I have no problem with that. I know they're gonna turn around and sell it, but whoop-de-doo. You have all this mess right here that's picked up, roof tarped. All of this that's picked up, piled up in front. All of this right here, debris piled up. And all of this debris piled up. Guys, this is not a bunch of South Louisiana people sitting around pissing and moaning going, poor me. I wish the government would come take care of me. That's not how it works around here. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that follow this channel are the exact same way. If something like this were to hit your neighborhoods, you guys, look, I want you to see something real quick. I was so pissed off, and I'll get back to my thought in a minute. My big, beautiful oak tree that I love so much got blown down. And I had another small oak tree that I was starting to cultivate right here and get it right. I wasn't gonna let this hurricane steal everything from me that I liked and in my yard. So I was able to get my truck, hook a strap up to it, pull that tree back up again, and I braced it up with some 2x4s, and I believe I'm gonna be able to save that thing right there. So it's kind of like my middle finger to Hurricane Laura, that she's not gonna take everything that I had. You know, I mean, I'm not exactly the kind of guy that has sentimental value on much, but boy, I really love my trees. I mean, this tree right here, I had grown this tree. The trunk was this big around. And for 11 years, I busted my ass growing that tree. And now it sits in my yard. So hopefully that other one I can salvage. But again, guys, my point to you is that every time there's something that happens in big metropolitan cities, in most cases is where it happens, everybody's a victim. Where's the government at? Why isn't the government helping me? What is the government going to do to help me? Where's my free food? Where's my free water? Where am I going to live? Where's the government going to put me? You know, you have all these questions and all these little comments that happen anytime there's a natural disaster, where everybody's sitting here expecting daddy government to come bail them out and come save them. You know why daddy government feels the need to call every shot and to tell you what to do all the time? It's because in times like this, we lean on daddy government and beg daddy government to please give us more instead of taking care of ourselves. When you take care of yourselves like we're doing right now, we don't rely on daddy government. In fact, daddy government's got his hands in our pockets a little bit too much. You know, all this crap going on right here, do you think we're paying less in taxes right now? No, we're not. Everything that doesn't work, do you think that we're getting a break on our bill? No, we're not. We're still going to be taxed on everything. We're still going to be charged on everything. We need to stop relying on daddy government. Now, granted, there are some people that might not have the means to do the things we've done, but I can promise you this. Buying a couple of blue tarps and getting off your ass and climbing up on your roof and putting them up there, that doesn't cost a lot of money. And I see people in some other areas around here, very few though, because I'm gonna tell you, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Southwest Louisiana is a very, very vibrant area. These people over here, regardless of financial means, are ones who do things themselves, again, and don't wait on daddy government. But I have heard a few people whining, saying, you know, where are my tarps at? We're talking about 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks for a blue tarp. And who's gonna tarp my roof? Let me show you something. Let me get around to my house real quick. Guys, I'm 52 years old. I feel like I'm 92 years old. My body ain't worth a damn. Everything hurts, everything's sore. I've got freaking tendons in my knee that don't even do anything. But I want to show you something. Me and one of my very, very, very fine friends, old friend of mine, good friend of mine, loyal friend of mine, a friend that I would do anything for, and a friend that he would do anything for me. And his son came over here and got up on my roof and put my tarps up that I bought with my money. And you see, because I don't trust myself, see that little ladder system that I built going up there? There it is right there. Those are some 2x4s that I just happen to have. And I cut those 2x4s to where I could actually gain some leverage. That's a 10 on 12 roof. And I cut those 2x4s to where I could climb up. And I put those tarps up there. That's not federal government that did that. That's not some roofing company. That's not me sitting outside my house waiting or begging on somebody to come put tarps on my roof. That's me knowing a rain shower is coming, and if I don't cover my roof up, my ceilings are gonna fall in with the sheetrock inside. So I got off my ass instead of pissing and moaning and whining about it and put my own tarps up. Was I scared? You damn right I was scared. You wanna know how scared I was? When I got home first, I was one of the first guys in this neighborhood that was in this neighborhood. I want to show you something. This actually is funny. This will make you guys laugh. When I got home, I knew more rain was on the way, and I came over here, and when I put the tarp you see on the back over here, I put that tarp up, some of these tarps up first, where you see my little ladder system going up the back side of my house too. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little ladder system going up the back as well. When I put that up, I actually put my phone, which we had cell service, down here on the ground, right behind this little valley right here. I was by myself. The reason why I put my phone on the ground by that valley was because I stood back and I looked where I was going to be putting my tarps up on my roof, and I figured if I fall, which I probably will because I'm not able-bodied and don't have the balance that I used to when I was 25, I figured I found the spots where I was going to fall and hit the ground, and I laid my phone where I could reach it and call for help. That's how unsure I was about tarping my house, but I did it. It's possible to take care of yourself without always relying on daddy government. Guys, I'm just wanting to show you this as a positive note of how we are faring right now. No power, probably gonna have no power for weeks. We do have a little bit more water pressure, so you can't clean up in the evenings after sweating your butt off all day long. Heat indexes right now have been 108 to 106 degrees out here. Dude, it's hot. You know, they talk about after hurricanes how the pressure is sucked out and the air is just low and thick, and it really is, man. It did it after Hurricane Rita 15 years ago, and it's doing it now. It's just thick. My glasses fog up for about 3 or 4 minutes when I walk outside until they finally level back off. So it's just, man, it's something, man. And the positive note is seeing how much everybody seems to be doing for themselves and not relying on anybody else to save them or to do for them. It's just very encouraging, guys. It's nice to see that I live in a neighborhood where people are not waiting on somebody else to bail us out. I haven't heard a lot of complaining. You know, everybody here has the same problems. Nobody's got it made. I don't care how big or small your generator is or if you don't have one. Look here, look at this American flag. I don't know if you can see it. That thing hung up there. It whipped in the wind so much that it's actually tied to a branch because it whipped around so much that it's got a knot tied on that branch up there to that tree. But the flag is still standing. It's a beautiful thing. My flag is still standing too. In fact, I'm probably gonna move mine out to the front of the neighborhood. I have a flag by my pool in the backyard and it's still sitting up there. But I'm just very grateful that I live in a neighborhood where people are not a bunch of candy asses and don't mind doing things for themselves. And again, don't piss and moan and cry. You know, in the evenings, we'll sit around, drive around, walk around the neighborhood, grab a beer, and just talk about what all we did that day. And I've never heard anybody whining about when is so-and-so gonna come help me or anything like that. You know, believe me, we all think the same thing. The federal government ain't doing crap for us. Shit, our own state government, our governor, guys, we had 155 mile-an-hour winds. This is almost like one big giant tornado that went through here. A hurricane with sustained winds that were steadily 155 miles an hour, came through here. The eye passed right over here. This is where the eye passed. And our very own governor, the governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards, biggest dickhead in the world, said that after seeing all this, and you ain't seen nothing. I'll take some video in town again later on. In fact, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see I've done some live videos there of the damage as I'm driving down the street. But our very own governor said, thank God the damage wasn't as bad. Wasn't as bad. If he's talking about wasn't as bad as predicted, Nobody predicted this. You know why? Because we've never had this level of damage in this area, ever. This was a storm stronger than any storm that's hit the state of Louisiana in over 150 years of measuring storms. And this dickhead said, thank God the damage wasn't so bad. Kiss my ass, John Bel Edwards. We have a shitbag governor in this town, in this state. It's embarrassing to have that big of a shitbag governor. So, guys, hopefully this is at least a little bit of a positive message, even though it comes across as kind of pissed off. I'm just pissed off at the way our governor treats people. Now, granted, we didn't vote for his ass, but maybe that's why he's like that. Maybe he's bitter because we don't like him and we didn't vote for him. Maybe this is his way of getting back at us because his area did not support him. So maybe that's his way of thumbing his nose at the citizens of Southwest Louisiana who didn't care for him before, but now think he's an even bigger piece of shit now since this hurricane has passed, and he's blown it off like it's no big deal. You want to know why there's no daddy government over here? It's because our government doesn't think that this area is a big deal. Really? John Bel Edwards, are you serious? Guys, I'll give you some more videos. Hope you guys are safe. Keep your powder dry. Lots of people here did. And we will be tuning back in with you, or at least checking back in with you guys.